Like trying to save your brother in a haunt. What was that? Sorry. So are the games of our lives. Mario. Sorry. These are the games of our lives. Super Mario and Pokemon and all the games that took us to another place and made us want to keep playing all night. These are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, accompanied as always by the wonderful, the beautiful, the shiny master in the making, Tony.
Bling, 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 bling. I rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. What's up?
Listen, I am super stoked to be talking about this particular game we're talking about this week. What game are we talking about today, Tone?
Luigi's Mansion.
But before we jump into that, why don't we talk a little bit about the news? First up, we've got Elden Ring, the very highly anticipated game from Software. Release just came out today at the time of this recording.
Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute.
What?
I forgot to ask how you're doing this week, bro. How's everything?
Oh my gosh. Things are great. I'm hanging out with Chalupa right now, and I've been doing nothing but playing video games for the last 2 days, so pretty solid stuff.
Oh, so good. Yeah, me too.
Love to hear it. But we had Elden Ring come out today. It's cross-platform. If you're familiar with the Souls games, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, this is the next game from that brood of games. And people are already claiming it to be like a game of the decade kind of contender.
Wow.
Which is kind of wild. Any thoughts on? Have you ever played any of the Dark Souls games or anything like that, Tony?
I haven't. Those games are kind of scary for me.
They're very scary.
And anyone that thinks that any of those games could potentially be game of the century has probably not played Arceus. So
Facts.
Wag to that. No, but I feel like those games they're probably great. They're just very difficult, and I can't even get myself to play Zelda because I think they're too difficult. So I think, you can probably see where I'm going with this. It's a dark game and a dark, tough game, and I'd rather just be doing other stuff. Have you played any of them or the new one or anything?
So I am also a scaredy cat, and I'm just a big old fright boy, and I have avoided the Dark Souls games. However, I heard a couple of specific people talk about this game in a light that came from the perspective of basically a giant Nintendo baby, which is what we are. And they said it was one of the easier to get into type of games in that genre. So I figured I would give it the college try. I did download the game. I'm only about an hour in, and I've died like 5 times already.
Okay.
And it's hard. It's very hard. I will be playing more of this game.
You don't like it.
I've only given it an hour. That's not a fair shake at all. It's definitely not my aesthetic for a game. Like, it's like pretty realistic. You play as like a dude who's dressed up as like a battle warrior person, and you're running around and sword battling with people. And I'm not a huge like medieval fantasy type person. I don't know about you.
I hate it. I'm very against certain settings. I don't know why. Not against them. I have nothing against them, but just some of them really turn me off in the medieval ones. Even with movies, I have a hard time paying any attention to them. Medieval
and space are like the two that I just can't really get into.
Yeah, water stuff for me too.
Ooh. But I'm sure I'll be talking about Elden Ring next week when I have a little more time to sink my teeth into it. But for now, a man on a horse. killed me when I made eye contact with him, so I jumped immediately into Pokemon Legends Arceus and found myself a shiny Machoke instead. So,
Broken.
Who's the real loser? Horseman.
Shout out to fan of the week, Horseman.
Horseman, like, go follow that man on Twitter at Horse Guy Ghost Monster Person. So another game was announced, which is a big deal. Street Fighter 6 had an announcement trailer from Capcom this week, and they have a pretty, it's pretty hype, right? Like, Street Fighter is the granddaddy of the fighting games, and to have another installment coming out is pretty solid.
Yeah, I guess.
Tony hates Capcom. Like, let's just get that out of the way. If it's a Capcom game, Tony wants it dead and buried alongside E.T. in that, Nevada landfill.
Jeez. All right. Yeah, I guess that's all fair. They're fine. They're not. They're just not I don't know.
Not for you.
No,
it's no Smash Melee.
It's exactly.
It's no Melee.
Exactly. Melee just made every other game like. Not like I was a huge like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, like anything. I think the closest iteration of any game like that I played was probably Soul Calibur 2 for I played it. I have it for Gamecube, but I played it for original Xbox. It was fine. I just learned that if you pick Nightmare and keep hitting the Y and then just like spamming X, it's basically like any like boxing or game where you just like keep spamming stuff. I just can't get all the precision. I could never get a single like combo move off in any like side-scrolling fighting game like Street Fighter kind of style game. I can't get a single thing. I'm just like I'm just not meant to play games like that, I don't think.
That's fair. Definitely not for everybody. It's not for me personally either. I've never been a huge Street Fighter fan, but I can just like kind of respect the hustle, I suppose.
Yeah, big fan base, so everyone's probably hype about that, so they have something good to look forward to. So it's probably just good for gamers,
Yeah.
Because gamers are such good people, right?
Oh, the best, especially like Smash Brothers gamers.
Oh, they're so nice.
I'm just kidding. The worst. But also, alongside this announcement with Capcom, they have a fighting game coming out that's kind of like a compilation game, and it's a whole bunch of fighting games that I've literally never heard of. Tony, I'm going to name. There's 10 games here.
Sure.
I'm going to name 11 games. You have to tell me which one's not real.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this. All
right. We've got Darkstalkers.
Oh, that's fake. All right, no, I'm kidding.
Night Warriors. Vampire Hunter 2. Vampire Savior. Vampire Savior 2. Hyper Street Fighter 2, Red Earth, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, Cyberbots 2, and Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Jeez Louise.
Which one of those is not a real game?
Oh, God. Jeez. I want to say my gut tells me one of the earlier ones, probably like the fourth game that you said, but my mind, my brain is going to say Superbots 2. Maybe Superbots 1 is a real game and they did, or maybe Superbots 1 isn't. That'd be a sick trick question if there's a Superbots 2 but not a number 1. Maybe one of the vampire games. This is tough. All right, give me Superbots 2. Final answer.
That was actually the fake. Cyberbots 2 was the one I made up.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Good job.
Tip of the hat to me.
It's insane to me that there's a game called Vampire Hunter 2, but not 1.
I could have went either way with that.
Absolutely wild. Haven't heard of basically any of these games, so
yeah. What the hell are those games?
But they're in the Capcom Fighting Collection that's coming out soon.
Those are all Capcom games?
Those are all Capcom games, yeah. June 24th.
Oh, that sounds like shit.
It's not for everybody, but I'm sure some people are like losing their minds over this.
You think a single person is losing their mind over that?
I mean, come on. With a title like Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, how could you not be hyped?
That's a sick name. That's a sick name.
It's kind of a sick name.
But that's also like, I don't know, Super Gem Fighter. Was it like, all right, next up we have Cobalt versus Emerald, and they're just like wearing headbands and they start, it's like a couple, rocks smashing each other around.
One of those games isn't even a fighting game. One of them is literally a Tetris Attack style game. That's the Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Some of those games don't sound like too unfamiliar, but I don't know any of them, like what they entail. But I feel like I've heard a couple of the names before. None of the vampire ones. Those all could be not in the universe, and I wouldn't know.
Absolutely not.
Jeez, that's wow. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So those are coming out.
Can't wait.
The last piece of news that we're going to talk about is the fact that a Pokemon Direct was announced for Sunday. By the time you're hearing this, the Direct will have already happened. So Tony and I are going to tell you right now what was revealed at this future event that hasn't come out yet. So we're going to talk about it like it's in the past tense, like it already happened, Tony. And Tony, what was your favorite reveal from the Pokemon Direct that happened this past Sunday? It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, they already just gave us Arceus, and now they're giving us all this extra content for it, right? Yeah, like the game is so good as it is. I didn't think they were really gonna do that, for free as just like a free DLC. I didn't think they were gonna do that. And
how many new Pokemon are they bringing in for this? It's kind of insane.
I think it's like a solid 100.
Ah, wow. A lot of Gen 5 representation. But yeah, did not see it coming. Got a whole 6th area to explore.
Yeah, it looks like a... What does it look like again?
The 6th area, it's a lot of caves. Like you're underground for a lot of this stuff. And then it's like a giant, vast open cave that you're kind of exploring.
Like a jungle cave?
A jungle cave. There is a lot of growth, like a lot of like giant mushrooms and large leafy plants. A lot of little like oasis areas to swim around into. Like they really did a good job kind of hitting a sweet spot in a kind of aesthetic that hadn't been explored yet in Arceus.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't believe they're giving us all this. This game is already, our favorite. I think I can speak for both of us. So the fact that more is coming out.
I mean, game of the year so far.
Yeah, I would say so. The year is early, but I don't think anything's going to top this unless they make a sequel, right?
Arceus 2, let's go, baby.
What else did they talk about in the Direct? They mentioned a new game, a new Pokemon game, right?
They did. It's Pikachu Shopping Adventure.
Really?
Yeah, so you basically it's a sequel, direct sequel to Hey You Pikachu, and you run a grocery store, like a little market, and you can have Pikachu stock the shelves, and you can yell at him when he's not stocking quickly enough, and you can fire him if he's doing that poorly of a job, and then you follow this whole Pikachu without a job arc. It's pretty dark for a Pokemon game. Starts hitting the bottle. It's out of left field, but they did talk about dying and stuff in Arceus, so I feel like Pokemon's just kind of turning to the like adult themes now.
Yeah, it might seem like that. I feel like they tried to humanize him a little bit with Detective Pikachu, but they never really matured it enough. But ever since Arceus, yeah, I think that kind of just opened the door to be like, you know what, we're just going to do it. Pikachu is really going down a bad path, and if you guys, want to help him, then maybe you'll get something out of that, and maybe you'll even, like Pokemon Go, the incentive behind that was to make as much money as they can get, but aside from that, it's really, move your ass a little bit, so maybe this game will kind of incentivize people to help other people that have problems, or fix their own problems. If you run a supermarket, the product's got to be on the shelf. I mean, you can't have someone slacking off, in the bathroom every 20 minutes. I mean, you get the apples got to be where the apples go, the flowers got to be where the flowers go. I mean, it's just very, very.
I mean, Pikachu's going out for smoke breaks and he doesn't even smoke. Like, I mean, not that he's not entitled to breaks, but he's taking his breaks and then also smoke breaks, which is just a little too much. I will say tip of the hat to the biggest announcement from the Direct, which was, of course, the announcement of Generation 9, which will be coming to the Switch and PS5. Tony, aside from the fact that it's jumping to Sony consoles as well, what are your thoughts on Gen 9? Like, tell us about the new location that we're playing in.
This one is... This is all entirely different planet now. We are just, Professor Albright is the astronomer professor, and he basically, realized that there are Pokemon not only in different regions of the world, but in different planets as well. So you actually get in a little spaceship. You're the selected astronaut to be, and you head up there and you're completely isolated with these Pokemon and you have to document stuff. Yeah, it's interesting because there are weird alien people that aren't Pokemon, but they also have befriended Pokemon and now are gym leaders, and somehow they got the memo that there's still 8 gym leaders and then an Elite Four and a champion. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's also...
It sounds like they're taking a lot from Arceus there with the exploration.
Yeah, it's still now it's all, open world still, and the Pokemon's never going to go back to how it was, with the top-down view. Now it's always going to be like this, except, it looks like it's going to be really good, and, they also kind of mix the whole... when you get back to your house at the end of the day, there's some Desidaru or whatever kind of alcoholic beverage of choice you want to drink. And it's really like one of those games where it's like, all right, you could find yourself going down a really bad path if you don't be careful, and then the whole mission fails, and then, you're not going to make the Albright professor happy. It's just, Pokemon's getting real dark. Very, very dark.
Yeah, kudos, though, because people have been kind of clamoring for Pokemon to enter a more mature space for a long time now, and it's kind of refreshing to see it come through like this,
Yeah, completely agree. I'm happy they're doing it. Yeah, the kids have enough games. They have Let's Go, and they have Pokemon Go, and they have Sword and Shield. They have little baby games, so now it's time for the adults to enjoy Pokemon like we did when we were little babies.
I mean, I'm just excited for Gen 9. They did name drop the 2 versions that are going to come out. Tony, what are the 2 versions again?
Oxygen and hydrogen.
I mean, really just going the elemental route seems like a no-brainer at this point. I can't wait. It's going to be summer 2023, so it's still a little ways off, but I'm excited to see what they show.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of excitement for this, and I could, by the time anyone hears this, they're, going to know already, but I just want to say it now that you should expect a lot of all capital text messages from me when the Direct is happening, because I'm sure at least one of something we said will probably happen.
I just can't wait to begin a new adventure with my favorite grass starter, Bleep Blorp. Stay tuned, keep listening, and we will keep you updated on Pokemon Gen 9 as more information comes out.
Yeah, excited to talk about it.
Tony, are you ready to talk about the game of the week?
Not really, but I think we'll be all right.
Well, thank you guys for listening. It's been really fun recording. So this week we are talking about, of course, Luigi's Mansion. Came out in 2001 for the Nintendo GameCube, and this was, if correct me if I'm wrong, both of our first GameCube game ever.
It was mine, definitely. Oh yeah.
Tony, what exactly is Luigi's Mansion? Give us a little story synopsis here.
Well, for the first time, Mario is the one who's in danger, and he gets trapped or kidnapped or something. You're not 100% sure. He's in trouble, and he's in this really creepy humongous mansion, and you play as Luigi, and you have to go into this mansion and try to save him by you meet a nice little professor in there. He kind of will help you along your journey. He's a inventionist creator. He makes a bunch of stuff.
Inventionist is the right word.
An inventor, maybe. He invents things, and he makes this little. His name's Professor E. Gad, and he is funny and weird, and he in a good way. And it's okay to be weird. And he makes you a little vacuum, and you use it to suck up dust bunnies and lint, and also all these crazy ghosts that are just in this building. And you're basically just roaming through this creepy house, just trying to suck up all these ghosts and find your way to Mario to free him.
That's basically it. You're in a haunted mansion. You're exploring this area. You're sucking up ghosts. There's also like just way too much like cash and gold and jewelry just laying around. It's just like I've never seen a house. You heard of like, couch change where you find like 50 cents in your sofa or something like this. In this house, people store 3 to 5 gold bars inside of each piece of furniture. And Luigi just goes around like pilfering this place. So he is breaking and entering, burgling this whole house, disrupting the dead, all to save Mario, of course, who's trapped inside of a painting, which I don't really understand what happens there. Like, how did Mario get into the painting in the first place? Does the Boo just put him in it?
I think he was just really high and watching Bob Ross, and he just like fell right in.
You know what? He must have thought he was still in Mario 64, because when you jump into a painting, So that has to be like part of it, right? Where Mario is like, well, duh, of course I'll go into a painting. But at the end of the day, he's trapped, and there's a big, scary Bowser-looking Boo guy that Luigi has to suck up in the end. And boy, howdy does he do it.
Yeah, a lot of sucking in this game.
Yeah, the game really sucks. It blows a little too, but...
You do have to use the vacuum to blow stuff out.
You do. You really do. Now, this is a single-player offering. It is a... I want to say this is, like, Nintendo's first, like, Mario horror game that was ever released. And it really... It's such a unique game because it's unlike any Mario game that anybody's ever played before, because you're not running and jumping and saving a princess and going through different levels. You're just kind of unlocking all the secrets in this mansion, and you're finding keys to get locked doors. There are special ghosts that give you extra money based on how quickly you can capture them, and each ghost, depending on how quickly you can capture them, also gives you a special painting version of themselves. That's kind of like the thing once you suck up a special ghost, they go into EGAD's portrait transmogrifier, or whatever in God's name he calls it, and you can get like a bronze, silver, or gold rating based on how well you did there. There's a handful of collectibles, and it was pretty fun. Now, Tony and I are famously little scaredy babies when it comes to video games. Tony, as like a little 8-year-old boy, what was your experience like playing this for the first time?
Wow, that's a long time ago. Jeez, yeah, it must have been 9. Yeah, this was definitely opening a new door for me, especially being a Nintendo kid. We really didn't get a lot of spooky stuff, so seeing something like this was... I am a little scaredy cat. I kind of always been fearful with jump scares and things like that. And in games, I don't know. I feel like I like horror stuff, but I feel like a lot of the horror stuff I see now is done really poorly. It's just like cheap jump scares and stuff, but I like truly like scary things. And I don't know. I digress a little bit, but this is... just interesting to be a little kid and be like, okay, I'm completely alone in this big, scary, ghost-filled area, And this is back when I could play one-player games and just you're a kid, you're trying to figure out what you still like, and Nintendo shoots out a brand new idea of a game, and you're like, oh, of course I'm going to play that. I'm like all in with this right now. And you play, and you're like, oh, this is not like anything I've ever played before, but it's not like too scary, but the setting is still like pretty creepy, and you're just like, all right, for a little kid, this is, not like you're playing, I don't know, name any scary game for like PlayStation or Xbox. It's like nothing like that. But for a Nintendo game, it's just like, all right, yeah, this is the vibe is fitting right now. I'm not really, I'm pretty uneasy playing this, but I still feel like I'm in control and I could handle this. And Luigi's a scaredy cat, so you kind of feel that way while you're playing. You're just like, yeah, Luigi's afraid of everything. So if he can do it, I could do it because he's a little bitch, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And the atmosphere in this game is set up so perfectly well. Luigi, really got kickstarted as kind of a scaredy cat with this type of game, which I think is a little unfair because given the circumstances, I'd probably be, putting a little yellow in my pants on accident too. But this game, it's very dark. There's just like a little piano jingle playing, but otherwise the game's pretty quiet. And a lot of times when you're playing the game, you'll hear just Luigi going around kind of like in his very timid voice going like, Mario, Mario, and like just calling out, and he's like shaking a little. And it was such a cool like mood setting like game. It's really cool that Nintendo did follow through and continue the series. There's 2 sequels out now. There's Luigi's Mansion 2, and then there's Luigi's Mansion 3, and Luigi's Mansion 3 is for the Switch. Have you played either of the sequels?
No, I haven't. I don't think I ever will. Maybe I will. Like, I want the one for the Switch because I am a huge Switch fan, and I think I need like every solid IP for that. And like we're talking about it now, this was our first GameCube game. It's definitely brings back a lot of good memories. But Dark Moon, something about trying to play Luigi's Mansion on a handheld didn't really feel right. So I was like,
Agreed.
that's cool. That's cool that it came out, but I can't really get like enveloped in this. It doesn't, I can't be scared when the screen is like this smaller than my hand kind of thing. Yeah, and then the Luigi's Mansion 3 came out, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe you could apply this to like any game. Maybe I sound like a hypocrite, but that's kind of like a one and done kind of game for me. Like, all right, what are there, new ghosts, what is it, a new house to go in, like a different painting, I'm just like, all right, I went in, I did it, even though that's what Pokemon is, but with different stuff. But with this game, I'm just like, yeah, it has a nice place in my heart. My first GameCube game came with my GameCube, really happy that I enjoyed it, but I'll maybe one day, during what have we been playing this week, I'll surprise you with Luigi's Mansion 3, but I don't see any happening in the near time future.
That's fair. The other game that did come out alongside Luigi's Mansion was an arcade shooter. There's a Luigi's Mansion arcade game, and it's located in quite a few Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
Have you played it?
That one I played, yeah, that's not that good.
I would agree. Actually, Maddie and I played it one time, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago at a Dave & Buster's, and we tried to beat the game in one sitting, but the thing was too damn expensive. Listen, it's no, what's the other one, like Time Crisis or whatever, or
yeah.
What's the, I don't know what those like different arcade shooters are. But listen, it's not one of the better ones. It's cool that you have like a poltergust controller, but something about it just didn't feel quite right. I myself have not played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon or Luigi's Mansion 3. I probably won't go on the 2 end just because I feel like a mission-based Luigi's Mansion kind of takes you out of the immersion of the whole experience. And with that one, you like literally go through like different, you finish a mansion and that's like the end of the mission, and then you like go on to another mansion mission.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Where Luigi's Mansion 3 is like one giant building again, which I like. So, tip of the hat to them for going back to the single location. Now, We mentioned earlier that there are a handful of ghosts that kind of had special personalities. Do you have a favorite special ghost that you encountered in the game?
Let me look this up actually, because the only one I remember is the baby.
And the baby is one of the more iconic bosses in the game because not only is he one of the special bosses, Chauncey, the name of the baby, is also an area end boss. So by defeating him, you kind of unlock a whole another set of areas to explore. So he's considered like a boss ghost. He literally takes Luigi, sucks him out of the room, and gets him put into a gigantic crib where you have to use different baby toys to do battle with him. Definitely fun, though.
Oh yeah, this is taking me back. Do you have a favorite? Well, looking at all these characters, I'm like, wow, I haven't seen these in a minute. Jeez.
I think my favorite was probably Slim Bankshot, which was he was a pool playing ghost, and you had to use like billiard balls to knock him out before you could start suctioning him. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I also thought the Clockwork Soldiers were pretty cool too, because it was like 3 of them, and they were all flying around like a bunch of Goombas.
Like flying Goombas. Wow, yeah, these characters are very off-putting. Very off-putting to look at.
Oh, these ghosts are hideous for the most part.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like looking at them. They make me feel pretty uncomfortably.
I do like how there's one ghost named Neville, and he straight up just looks like Nigel from the Wild Thornberries.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that guy looks just like Nigel.
He's like, smashing. He's the first special ghost that you encounter in the game.
He might be my least favorite.
I mean, he's pretty boring, but what do you expect for a dude in a rocking chair?
Wow, yeah, I hate all of them. But I think that's what they went for. They wanted you to dislike they're ghosts. They're not supposed to look nice.
They're scary.
They are scary.
Especially this Mr. Lugs character.
The jacked guy?
No, I'm talking about the glutton.
Oh, the fork and knife guy.
Fork and knife man. Yeah, hungry hippo over here.
Yeah, he's a big girl.
But he does that center part well. You gotta give him credit where credit's due.
Hey, curves are in right now, right?
That's it.
Or whatever that means.
He's thick with 2 C's. Or whatever the kids on TikTok are saying.
Hey, I got nothing for that.
So while you're going through this game, you're collecting money, and the reason that you're collecting money is because at the end of the day, when you eventually save Mario, Luigi gets rewarded a mansion based on how much money you end up collecting throughout this adventure, and you get ranked. And if you collect over, I want to say like $100 million, you end up with a rank A, which gives you this gigantic mansion, which does appear actually in Mario Kart Double Dash. You can see it in Luigi's Circuit, believe it or not.
That's sick.
You can use Luigi's Mansion as a battle course in Mario Kart Double Dash as well.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, this game was definitely cool. Really, really fun single-player experience. If you have a GameCube or you have Dolphin, definitely worth checking out, I would say. It kickstarted a series, and it really, I mean, before Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon came out, I feel like this was one of those games that people were like, where the heck is the sequel for this game?
Mm-hmm.
And, I've heard nothing but positive things about Luigi's Mansion 3, and I say that this is a pretty solid game. Really, really happy that this game exists. Tony, do you have any final thoughts on this one?
No, this is definitely one that shaped my early video game experiences a little bit. Yeah, it's always going to have a special place. It was my first GameCube game, and GameCube was one of my, first few consoles, so whenever something like that, there's only so many new consoles, that, I mean, handhelds are great too, but in my life it had a Genesis, Nintendo, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, and then it was N64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch, so it's like GameCube is a solid contender and holds a lot of memories. So being the first game on that was just still have my copy, and I love it. How about you?
So this game is maybe one of the most important games in my history as a video gamer because
Wow.
I was given the option as a child. My parents came up to me about a month and a half before Christmas, and they said, "Listen, Santa's going to be bringing you one of two video game consoles, and you need to make the choice, 11-year-old little Billy. You need to choose between a GameCube with Luigi's Mansion and Wave Race, or the PlayStation 2 with two other games, and you need to make that call now." And I took 24 hours to deliberate, and I consulted the sages. This was before the internet existed, so that was my sister and my cousin Ronnie. And the sages all agreed that it was GameCube season, and I just can't imagine where I'd be in life if I had chosen the PlayStation 2 over the GameCube and not been a Nintendo boy my whole life.
Things would be so different. Everything would be so much different.
Everything would be so much different in my life.
I don't even think we would be doing this podcast if you picked PS2.
You might be 100% correct. Like, totally different. Might have a totally different set of friends.
Yeah.
Like, me and Maddie might not be as amazing friends as we are if we didn't bond over Nintendo game. What the heck? Maybe the most influential decision I've ever made for myself at the age of 11. That's insane pressure I didn't even know I had on me at the time.
Yeah, you don't think much of it back then, but it's only a then thing, but you have no idea how much it's really going to shape you as a, I don't know. I think at some point games and things like, for me it was like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And video games, all that stuff stuck with me so hard that it wasn't about like my future with that stuff. It was just like, man, I love playing this stuff right now. Like, this is my favorite thing to do. And then you look back and you're like, wow, even back then that was still my favorite thing to do. So you're just like, oh yeah, like what if I didn't do it then? Like, would I be still doing it now? You're like, wow, I'm happy I did it back then because I still love it.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna give myself a tip of the hat for choosing correctly. I think
I can get behind that.
You got any tips of the hat this week?
Just a tip to Fiber for making the poops easy.
Yo, shout out Fiber. Really helping that body do its thing. Listen, do I add a little Benefiber to my coffee in the morning? Maybe. And by maybe, I mean yes.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's not bad for you. Between that and drinking a good amount of water, it's important for a healthy diet and to maintain regularity,
I think so. I eat a lot of dark chocolate. I have a big sweet tooth, and dark chocolate is like probably I feel like it's the best for you. And it kind of just like clogs me up, you know what I mean? So I gotta try to incorporate some high fiber cereal with some fresh fruit in there. And I think it's time that I confess this to everybody. And this is gonna, I'm sorry to just dump this on you right now. This is it's gonna be a make or break for a lot of people listening to this podcast moving forward. But I'm just gonna come out and say it. And I've gotten 99% of the responses have been pretty much that I'm a psychopath, crazy person. But I eat my cereal with water instead of milk.
I think you mentioned this on the podcast before.
Have
and I think you have, and I think I called the police immediately after the recording session ended because that is something different than what I am used to. Although thinking about it, I took some time to reflect on it because it affected me so greatly, and I can't really fault you that hard considering like I don't even drink dairy milk that often anymore. We don't buy dairy milk at the house. We only have like almond milk, which is one step above water. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just almonds crushed up with some water, baby.
Yeah, it's like a little sweet, put a little vanilla in there, or vanilla unsweetened. It's just like a little kind of sweet water, basically. Milk
Just
is just
nutty
gross.
water.
Huh. Well, that makes me feel better, and I guess
Yeah.
I'm surprised anyone still listens to this podcast if I've said it before, but I guess that does make sense why the police came to my house that day.
Yeah, no, that's I apologize for swatting you like that, but in the moment I think it was the right decision. However, I apologize for any discomfort I may have caused you or your family.
Dude, no worries at all.
So, I have another tip of the hat,
Hit me.
and that's Walmart, which surprisingly, they don't get tips of the hat very often. But Walmart has a Kirby pre-order item, and it is an adorable little Kirby pop socket. It makes me want to pre-order through Walmart to get that little pop socket. And I have been against pre-ordering games for a very long time, so might have to break my own rules for this one.
Could be worth it. This one depends because when I walk into a Walmart to buy a new game, it's $50 instead of $60. Even with like GameStop and any other stores like pre-order stuff, I'd still rather just spend $10 less and not get the pre-order bonus most of the time unless it's something really good. But if you're getting this for $60, then you're really just spending $10 on a Kirby pop socket, which I don't think is worth, if I'm being honest. But if it's $50, then I think it's totally worth it to pre-order that and get that pop socket. I think it's pretty. I mean, Kirby's awesome. In this game, isn't it? Be awesome.
Does it cost to pre-order at Walmart? Does it cost the full $60, or is it still the $50 for a physical copy?
I'm not sure because when a game comes out, you could walk in and find it for $50, but when you go online and try to buy it on Walmart.com, it's $60.
Oh.
So I don't know why they do that like that. I really can't understand it. But my friend at GameStop told me that GameStop price matches. So he said he can't speak for every GameStop because he's not sure, but he told me if I go into a Walmart and take a picture of the price tag of the game at Walmart that's $50, he'll price match it at $50 for me at GameStop. So I didn't know they do that. So a little pro tip, apparently GameStop price matches, but I wouldn't show them the online price because it's going to come up at $60. So
interesting.
Yeah, so that's a little something for your, Swiss Army knife.
Very nice. Another tip of the hat, Tone?
No, just fiber.
I got one more tip, by the way.
Oh, you're in a good mood.
Yeah, you know what? The My Nintendo, which is a website that if you play a lot of Nintendo games, you can accumulate points based on your purchases. And they did away with their My Nintendo physical rewards for a while, but they just brought back the My Nintendo rewards shop, and they have like a whole handful of new things out right now.
Do they really?
Yeah, they fully updated it. It's like a totally brand new looking page, and it looks pretty solid. Tip of the hat, you got some Pokemon Legends Arceus stuff there. Got some Animal Crossing stuff. Just pretty neat overall.
Huh. That almost makes you want to give a wag, because just for them to take that away, even when they still had that up years ago, they did not make enough product for everyone,
They never do. They never do. And I agree with you, like a wag on that part. But I will say, they recently took down the rewards, the physical rewards, maybe about like 3 months ago. But I wonder if it was just because they were doing this store redesign, because a lot of the stuff that was on it is up there right now, and it looks pretty good.
Huh. I gotta check that out because I'm talking like years and years ago. They let me see what they got up there because I remember when they had like the Majora's Mask. What's it called? The Majora's Mask, like little laptop kind of bag, like an over the shoulder, almost like a purse, but not really.
Yeah.
They had that, and they had other stuff too, but the good stuff like the Mario coins or whatever, all that stuff was always gone, and then of course it's on eBay for like $1 million, and it's just like anything else that Nintendo made where it's like, alright, I guess I'm just not going to be able to get this, and
right.
Yeah, I was always pretty frustrated with the way they did that, but let's see, let me take a look-see. 400 platinum points, My Nintendo game card case for 600 points. gonna have to see how many points I have. I don't know if I have any.
That game cart case
points.
might not be bad though. It holds 8 games.
That's neat. That really is just like a little piece of plastic, right?
It's basically a Switch case, like a Switch game case, but instead of only holding 1 card, it holds 8 cards. So if you do a lot of switching in and out, and you don't really care about, having all your games in one, like each individual case, then I think that's like a solid thing to have.
I like it as a collector. I think it's really cool to have something like that as a Nintendo fan. This is cool. I don't know how you get platinum points, but
whenever you make purchases for Nintendo games, you get platinum points. So the more Pokemon or more Nintendo games you buy, the more platinum points you end up getting.
Even physical games?
As long as you register them. So whenever you buy a physical copy of a game, there is a code, usually in the game or in the booklet that comes with the game, that you can register the game on My Nintendo and redeem points. Super worth getting, in my opinion.
I mean, this is gonna have to be a next episode thing, so I don't I don't remember my login stuff.
The password is password1234.
Oh.
Well, we'll have to. So I have a wag of the finger.
Yes.
Well, I got 2. One
yes.
one wag of the finger at Tony for forgetting his password, but that's just a baby wag.
Not nice.
I have a second baby wag actually, and it's at myself for being booty at Elden Ring. I'm not good at this game, and I want to get better, but holy smokes, is it hard. And I got one real wag of the finger as well. My wag of the finger is actually, it's at Horizon, the video game franchise.
Ooh.
Horizon Forbidden West was released just last week, and it came out. And this is the second time in 5 years where a Horizon game comes out and a game of the decade contender comes out right at the same time to just completely overshadow it. And you gotta feel bad. Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017, right at the same time that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was released. And let's be real, that was a game of the decade contender right there. Now we got Elden Ring coming out immediately on the heels of Forbidden West. And it's just like, dang, the video game gods do not smile fondly on this franchise. Like, if you're Sony, you gotta be like, God damn, really? Twice? Come on.
It's a wag to the gods or to them for not knowing when to release games properly?
I don't know. It's just like a wag to the whole situation. You just kind of feel bad. Me feeling bad for a multi-million-dollar corporation, you know?
Yeah, you can't help it. Also, update.
Yeah. Oh, did you remember your password?
I did. Apparently, capitalization matters. So
I've heard.
So, tip of the hat for good security, wag of the finger for inconvenience. Yeah, somehow with all the Wii U, and Switch games I've registered, I have a grand total of 0 gold points and 0 platinum points. So, I will not get an exclusive My Nintendo game card case anytime soon.
You hate to see it here, folks.
Rough. Very, very rough.
I guess just with your future games moving forward, you should just register them. And if you have physical copies, those codes are still good. So you might be able to still put those in and get points.
You think so?
Yeah, they're good for ever. So,
well, mine are all gone that I put in from like a year or two ago. So,
did you get Pokemon Legends Arceus, a physical copy?
Yeah. Well, then you should be able to cash in on that code, baby boy.
Wag of the finger for me doing that voice.
Wag of the finger for calling me baby boy. Actually, I kind of like it.
Yeah, let's. I was gonna say that's a tip of the hat if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. Okay. Just the voice, and we keep the rest.
Tony, what games have you been playing this week?
Legends Arceus, and
very nice.
And I brought back game night and my friend was like, "Why don't we play that game?" And he pointed at Double Dash, and we played it, and it was fantastic.
I'm so happy you say that. I'm so happy. So, what was your favorite part about playing Double Dash? What jumped out at you as something that they did right?
It just feels right. You know, the drifting, you don't go into like a hop into your drift. You just hit your L or R and you go right into it, and it just feels good. The game just plays really smoothly, and it seems if you know how to race well, it seems like it puts you in a good position. I like the idea of having a driver in the front and the back with 2 items and the special items. The game's just made well. I could see it's like a dated game appearance-wise, but it just is a solid Mario Kart. It runs well, feels well, runs good, feels good. Yeah, I don't know. Character, just a classic GameCube feeling kind of game, and I enjoyed the aesthetic a lot, and I was like, this is a solid Mario Kart, and even though I haven't played it in many years, and I really didn't play it too much when I was a kid, when we put it down and that was it for the night, I said, I'm going to play this throughout the week. I want to unlock everything, and I want this to be a Mario Kart that I could add to my, Mario Kart knowledge collection and be like, oh yeah, I love Double Dash because I like it a lot and I want to play more of it. So that's really what I've, a little bit of that, and I actually want to ask you about that because I think that's your favorite Mario Kart, if I'm not mistaken.
Double Dash is my favorite game, and it has a mechanic that I wish they bring back to Mario Kart 9. The mechanic is being able to, when you have 2 items, to swap positions of the items.
Yes.
I think that it would, like, if Mario Kart 8 just added the ability to swap your items around, it would be like an untouchable greatest of all time Mario Kart.
Maybe.
That's just how I feel about it. And I already almost feel like that about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as it is.
Yeah.
But if you could control your items, it might actually just be broken.
It would be really good.
Like, almost too powerful. That's just me complaining like a little baby boy.
Well, I like it because I'm tired of getting coins all the time. When you're in first and you're like, all right, single item box, I'm going to get a banana or a green shell. I'm not being greedy. I don't need the horn every time. Just something to cover my ass. And it's like, all right, coins. And I'm like, all right, that's horrendous. It's basically like losing the game, kind of, because then you get hit with 1 red shell and now you're in 5th and there's like 100 other people around you and you get 3 green shells and then everyone else gets bullet bills and then you're dead. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, that 1 coin's in the lead. If I could have swapped that earlier and put those in the back right before I hit a different item box, I could have fired off this green shell. The normal Mario Kart code reads you can't have 2 coins at the same time, so you fire 1 off, give a little protection, get another item box, have coins in the front, another green shell or whatever, flip them around, cover your ass again, bada bing, you're racing like a stud.
So I'm wagging the finger actually, because I played Mario Kart 8 this week. I jumped into one of my friend's streams. His name is Derp Stew. And he was playing, and there were a lot of people in the lobby. It was like a 12-man lobby. And I ended up, he was doing like these like 4 race mini GPs. And during one of them, I just got stuck in the middle every time. And I was pulling green shells and mushrooms in like the 4th to 6th place area consistently for like 4 races in a row. And I was tilted really hard for a minute just because I was like, I am having just no luck with items whatsoever. And there's just like no shot for me to gain any ground because like a single mushroom's nice and all, but it really doesn't help when you're like in the middle of the pack as much as like offensive weapons do. And green shells too. It's like, come on. And then I like went up on a tear and I 4-0'd the next Grand Prix. I was just like, I need to win this game. I will literally, I like hate raced and performed well. I was like, okay. And then I quit and played Arceus.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but like everything about it is so, or I do know, I know that's a lie. I know exactly what I'm about to say. Everything about the game just about is so good, but even with that being said, the online experience is so subpar just because 12 people is way too many people, and like it just the best racer will not win. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's a lie, but in like when I say the best racer, I guess there's a lot that goes into what makes the best racer that good. But
I would say on balance, the best racer would win in a Grand Prix setting. Single race scenario, though, it's any given Sunday.
Yeah, that's where I mean that the charity tournament we played in. I was like the kid that won seemed like he earned it. He was in first like almost every race, but like I feel like either one of us could have won that too. I mean I definitely within like the semifinals didn't need to come in make it to the finals in like 5th or 6th place to like barely get in. I should have passed with flying colors, but it was just every single moment was like just a nail biter. Like I got hit by one thing, I went from second to like 6th, or something like that. It's just like Mario Kart Online is a very frustrating experience for me. I've played a good amount of it, and there have been times where I just use Yoshi, standard cart, standard tires, cloud glider, and I'm just like, all right, I have all these people dominated, and then there are times where I just like cannot get going, and it's those times where I'm like, what do I have to change? Like these people aren't like out racing me. They're not hitting the jumps better. They're not hitting the drifts better. It's just
item luck.
Yeah, it's just sometimes that just makes it very frustrating, but that's part of the game. It's like Mario Party dice rolling. There is like luck with Mario, or even like risk reward in like Pokemon VGC. Or you want to use a move that's stronger but not 100% accurate. Well, you gotta pick your position, kinda. So there's a little bit of luck to everything, but I don't know, a little bit of odds.
Talk about luck. I mean, Tony and I played Mario Party Superstars this weekend, and that game went down to bonus stars, and like on paper, like I was in like 3rd and 4th place basically the whole dang game, and walked away with a dub.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a little credit for that and a little slack for that, because you put the patrol car on Spaceland. You activated that for the 5 coins. That kid landed there and then moved, got sent back, and then because of your patrol, it actually sent us like me included, all the way back down, and it was turn 14 out of 15. I was 0 spaces away from getting a golden pipe from the shop. Next turn, I would have got the star, and then we both would have had the same stars at the end of the game, but I would have had more coins. I would have won. So if that kid didn't hit that exact number on that turn, I would have won, but you put that patrol car there, so like that in my head, I'm like, yes, there's luck to it, to the dice rolling, but I don't know, that's either you just did it because like fuck it, it's like the right, or sorry, I can't swear, because like forget about it, it's like I have to activate this, it just seems like the right thing to do. That's kind of a genius move though, because you ended up winning the game for something as small as that. Like every little thing that people sometimes overlook in a game like that really means a lot, and it ended up getting you a win. I was like, we ended up stopping the game after it was done. I just kind of sat there and looked down. I was like, son of a bitch, he did it again. Like I was so close to getting him this time.
Mario Party is a very weird game, and putting yourself into a position to win, I think, is a skill in and of itself in Mario Party. And I may not even have like consciously made the decision like, all right, this is definitely going to put somebody back. I'm like, the star's got to be on the north end eventually. Like we hadn't had a star placed up there in basically the whole game. So I'm like, I'm already past this area, and I might as well just force whoever's going to be over there to use a gold pipe to even reach it. So hopefully this plays out. And I think I was like pretty coin rich at the time too. So I was like, what's 5 coins?
Now I gotta ask, you said during that stream you were going to play 3 games, and the one that you and I played was the first game. Did you win those other 2 games?
No, I came in 4th one of them, and I came in 2nd the other one.
I can't believe that. I just don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I got absolutely smoked on Woody Woods. Just had the worst dice rolls that you ever were going to see. It was just bad.
Wow.
But I feel like Woody Woods is just a bad map. So that's just me.
Yeah, I've always liked it. It's always been one of my favorites from 3, so the fact that they brought it back into this game I like a lot, but it seems very difficult to get to certain part. It's very hard to get to the highest part of the map, consistently.
In terms of just like picking boards, it's almost a curious decision looking back that they would bring Woody Woods from 3, because it's basically just a worse version, like same shape, same layout and everything as Horrorland.
Why, you think so?
It's very similar layout to Horrorland, but I think it's just a worse version of Horrorland, truth be told.
Wow.
And sometimes
you heard it here.
If you're just not having luck with the rolls, then you're just gonna lose. Like that's just how that cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
Isn't that all of Mario Party though?
That's true. I mean, again, there's an element of making your own luck, and there's an element of, putting yourself in a position. I also did the goofy bonus stars instead of the traditional bonus stars.
Ooh, okay.
So those definitely changed things up a little bit. There's one gripe I have with that game, though. I wish the goofy bonus stars were not dictated by how many turns you played, and it was just a flat 3 for the bonus stars. Because I think you need to play at least 30 turns to trigger 3 of the goofy bonus stars.
Oh, gotcha.
Otherwise, it's only 2. I wish that you still got a total of 3 in case of a tiebreaker scenario.
Yeah.
I think it just adds more heat.
Yeah, I would like that. I think, 2 doesn't seem like enough.
Or at least give us the option.
Yeah, they give you options for everything else, might as well. How many bonus stars you want at the end.
Right.
That's fair.
Any other games you've been playing, Tone?
No, not too many. I've been working on music a lot the past couple weeks, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been making a parody album for one of my best friends that, I wanted to surprise him with it, with a bunch of inside jokes, and I've had all this, just, different melodies and different ideas of, whenever I hear music, I mean, I'm listening to music all the time, and I'm always just singing different harmonies and stuff, and even though I released a rap album, I really like pop music the most. I would say it's my favorite kind of music. So I really always wanted to be able to make it. And I was like, you know what? We started sending each other just audio messages of inside jokes. So I would send him one of a rap, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny if I sent him a song or made a song and surprised him. I'm like, dude, we have a million inside jokes. So I was like, what if I have 3 weeks before I'm going to see him again because of his job, and I'm like, what if I just make a whole album in this time and just with different types of songs and base them around inside jokes and throw them in there, and he actually came over last night and he was almost crying. It was just I'm really happy with how it came out, and I think I'm actually going to put it on YouTube, I think, all the songs, just because I was able to, I don't know. It's just quick garage band songs, and I'm not really good at mixing or mastering, and I'm really not good at making beats, but it's definitely the best beats and the best actual music I've ever made by myself. Even though they're just goofy, silly songs, I'm still just pretty proud of it, and I think they're funny. So I think I'm gonna make just a 10-minute explanation video of the inside jokes, so people, if anyone wants to listen to it, they're just okay, it just doesn't sound completely ridiculous, they're all, they every little bit kind of has meaning, and then just put the songs up and call it a day. But yeah, he loved it, and I surprised him, and it went over well, and it was just a very fun 20 or so hours that I put into it, and I'm excited to put it up.
Dude, that's awesome. I cannot wait to give that a listen.
Thanks. I should be putting it up tonight, actually, I'm thinking. So if anyone hears this, it probably will be on youtube.com/thepokerapper.
Very cool. A couple more games that I've been playing, actually.
Yeah.
Last weekend was the Nintendo Switch Sports open online beta test.
You're not supposed to talk about it, though.
Well, I'm talking about it. It was fine. There's one mode that I think is really cool, and I think has a lot of replayability, and I think I would love to play it more, is their bowling, because the way that they have their bowling set up, and I mean the mechanics are fine. It's if you ever played Wii Sports bowling, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. But the way they had it set up was a tournament bracket style, where you would bowl 3 frames, and after the end of 3 frames, the bottom half of the scores got cut from the round.
Oh, that's sick.
And like every 3 frames, it would cut the bottom half until the 10th frame, it would be the top 3. And
that's so sick.
That I thought was a really, really cool thing. I made it to the finals once and lost because some of these people with names I cannot pronounce are ripping just strike after strike after strike. But it is it's a cool game. I didn't like the Chambara, which is the sword fighting. I thought it was fine, but I mean, anything that is like heavily motion dependent in an online setting just feels like a mistake. And tennis is tennis. Like Wii Sports Tennis is not complicated, and it's actually kind of one of the dumber games. Like, you don't have to think to play that game. You just kind of swing your remote. But I'm excited to see what the golf offerings are when they come out in the fall. And the bowling, if they keep that mode, that tournament mode, like, watch out. That's going to be where I am 24/7. And then I also played Conker's Bad Fur Day for the first time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was on stream Conker's Bad Fur Day. Played the first maybe like 4.5 hours of it. It is terribly written. A lot of the jokes have aged so horribly poorly, and the voice acting is among the worst I've ever heard in a video game. All that said, I want to finish the game, but like so far it's like not a good video game experience.
Wow, coming from your favorite Rare.
Yeah, I know.
Good old Rareware.
A Rare platformer, and I'm dunking on it because it's basically a bad game. It's imagine Banjo-Kazooie but bad. Well, I want to thank everybody so much for listening to today's episode. We had an absolute blast making it for y'all. Listen, if you want to support the show, if you listen to us on iTunes or Spotify, please hit us with a 5-star review. If you have a review and type it out, we will read it on the show. You can follow the show at Games of Our Pod on Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow Tony at The Poker Rapper on Instagram, on Twitch, on TikTok. You can follow me, Bill, at Bill the Fajita on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Tony, final words and take us away.
Shit, man, you already know what it is. Today we're coming live with, Bill Darmani 12, man, Chicken Fajita, what's up, and me, Tony Rayo. You already know what it is, man. I'm messing up all these names on purpose. Y'all already know. Yeah, stay up, be good, treat each other with love, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. You smell me?